Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Kermit the Frog. Thank you, very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this evening's program is being broadcast live from coast to coast, and our listeners are counting on your reaction as part of your listening pleasure. So don't be shy. Feel free to applause. We applause at any Muppet show. Yeah, they're mediocre. We have a very great show for you tonight. We will present a live reading of the classic film It's a Wonderful Life with all us Muppets and our very special guest star as Clarence, Mr. Ewan McGregor! Yay!
Hello there.
General Kenobi! You are a bold one! I'm getting a call from Scooter, our stage manager, and we're about to be on air in 20 seconds. Thank you all for coming this evening and enjoy the broadcast! Okay. We are live in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everyone. This is Guy Smiley from Bedford Falls News. We begin our story in town, Bedford Falls, New York. Yes, where a number of people in the town are praying for their dear friend, a typical American dreamer frog named George Bailey. Dear God, please look over my husband, George.
George is a good frog. You know that. My son has always gone out of his way to give others a hand. Help my big brother George! He's sold so much for us! More than I remember!
I remember all of the times he used to stay late after work and not ask a cent. The world needs more like George Bailey.
George Bailey never thinks about himself. I wouldn't have had a roof over my head if it wasn't for him.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have given up along. All I think about myself. I must have been taking the last song he had.
He had no sense of business, that George Bailey. He's just like his father. None of the Baileys were ever businessmen. It's a darn fault he wasn't prepared for times like these. At times like these, I couldn't help it but think it's all my fault. Helping father. It's me who's been putting him on with this.
Is something matter with Daddy? Shall we pray for him, Mommy?
Yes, Zuzu. Pray very hard.
The voices carry heavenward, and Joseph, the superintendent of angels, summoned Clarence and apprentice.
You sent for me, sir.
Yes, Clarence. A man down on Earth needs our help.
Splendid. Is he sick?
No, worse. He's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be thinking of seriously throwing away God's greatest gift.
Oh dear, his life. Then I've only an hour to dress. What are they wearing now?
You'll spend that hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, I might perhaps win my wings. I've been waiting over 200 years now, and the people are beginning to talk.
What's the book you've got there?
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading when you sent it for me.
Oh, fine book. Excellent. When you do a good job with George Bailey, we'll see about your wings.
Thank you.
Now, if you're going to help George, you want to know a little something about him. Look, see the town.
Why, yes. A group of young boys sledding down a snow-covered hill and onto the ice. This is amazing. Who's that?
That's your problem. George Bailey.
A boy?
Yeah, that's him when he was 12, back in 1919. Something happens here you'll have to remember later on.
And here comes your snow baby, my kid brother Harry Berry. Me.
What? They have Elmo playing young George Bailey? He looks nothing like a frog. Yeah! Boo!
Okay, dear. Harry's fallen through the ice.
Almost coming, Harry! Make a chain gang! A chain!
So his brother fell through the ice, but George saved him?
Yes, Clarence. Ever since George has had a bad year. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear, yes, sir.
The other event came a few months later. George took an after-school job at old man Gower's drugstore.
Elmo wish he had $1,000. Hot dog!
You're late, Mr. Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Hola, George. Hola, Mary. Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of sewage, Violet.
Maddie was here first. I'm still thinking.
Sewage?
Please, George. I like him. You like every boy. What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Adios, Georgie. Hasta luego, Mary.
Have you made up your mind, Mary?
I'll take chocolate. One for me, one for Rocco.
Rocco? Rocco's a rockberry. Rocco's not alive.
George?
Yes, sir?
You're not paid to be a canary, not like my assistant Beaker.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, George.
Bye, Mary.
What was that piece of paper George picked up?
It's a telegram from Mr. Gower. He found out this morning that his son died of influenza.
Oh, awful.
Yeah, and he spent the afternoon drowning in his dreef of whiskey.
Mr. Gower, do you want something? Anything?
No.
Anything Elmo can do back there?
No.
Elmo will get them, sir. When can it start, Mr. Gower?
Never mind that. Take those capsules over to Mrs. Blaine's.
Yes, sir, but they have to dump. Elmo don't know how to read that word. Isn't it a charge, sir?
Yes, charge.
Mr. Gower, Elmo thinks...
Get going.
Mr. Gower, you put something wrong in that.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Stop! You're hurting Elmo's short ear.
Did you hear what I said? Get out of here.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in his console. Elmo knew you were unhappy. You got the telegram, now you're upset. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Gower. But look, this bottle of youth will make the poison capsules. It's poison.
Rat poison? Poison? Oh, no.
Please, don't hit Elmo's short ear again.
Oh, poison. Oh, George.
All Elmo wanted was to make sure Mr. Gower won't tell anyone. Elmo know what you're feeling. Elmo won't tell ever so.
Oh, George.
Did he tell anyone about those pills? Not a soul. Did he ever marry the girl? Did he ever go exploring? We'll get there soon enough, Clarence. When George Bailey grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there was just enough money, so he worked 4 years in the Building Loan and Association. Building Loan and Association? George's father was in the building loan business, along with George's Uncle Billy. George, what's the combination to the safe? You rolled it down so you wouldn't forget it. Ah, that's right. Where? Your wallet, Uncle Billy. Thanks, George. Lovable fellow, just forgetful is all.
Who's that?
That's Henry F. Potter, the richest and meanest Muppet of all country. Yeah, I want to be like Mr. Potter. Don't you mean Harry Potter? Go! Ah, Peter Potter is here. Harry Potter is here. Ah, the boy who lived. Mr. Belly, Mr. Belly, Mr. Belly, that is nothing quite so lonesome as a family business. Now, Peter, you know what I'm here for. I'm on a very tight schedule. A family to a dictator. Have you got any real pressure on those people to pay their mortgages? They're foreclosed. They're not my children. Are you running a business or a charity ward? Not with my money. Ha ha ha. So I suppose I should give it to miserable fellas like you and that idiot brother you don't just spend it to me. Ha ha. He's not a failure. You can't say that about my father. You're not. You're the biggest man in town. Don't let him say that about you, Pop. What kind of business are you running here? Good God, man! George worked for his father, save enough to go see him for the university. That summer roll, he was going to Europe. George got a job at a cattle boat and was ready to do some traveling before college. Old Gower surprised him with a gift, a big suitcase. On his way home from the store, he ran to his old friend, Ernie, the cab driver, and Bert, the cop. Ah! Hi, Ernie. Hiya, George. Hi, Bert. Hey, George, what's the suitcase for? I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style? Sure, Your Highness. Hop in the cab. And for the carriage rate, I'll put on my hat. Ernie! So, were Bert and Ernie really named after It's a Wonderful Life characters? I think it's just a coincidence, huh? Oh!
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Looks like you're ready to get out of here for sure.
Hello, Violet. Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
Oh, this old thing? Well, only wear it when I don't care. Have a look. See you later. How would you?
Oh, yes? Wanna come along, Bert? We'll show you the town. No, thanks. Think I'll go home and see what the wife is doing. Family man. George saved up his money to go to college. His bags were packed and he was all set to go. Oh boy, it's hard to realize it's the last night in the Bailey boarding house. I'm gonna miss you too, Pop. What's the matter? You look tired. Oh. I wonder what's gone into that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway. Hey, George! Can I borrow your tuxedo suds? Oh, well, help yourself, Harry. Well, where are they? In your suitcase? I'm not talking about a tuxedo in a calaboose, you know. Say, where'd you get that fine piece of luggage anyway? Ah, Mr. Gower, go in the way present. And one of these days, you're gonna see that bag all covered in travel labels. It's Italy, Bacard. Hey, why don't you come to the dance tonight? What, and be bored to death? Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty gals. Hey, I've gotta hurry. We'll have it all figured out. You'll see, Harry will take my job at the building alone. Work there 4 years, and then he'll go. Well, no younger than I was. Oh, well, you know, I've always talked about building things, designing new buildings, plan modern sillies. No, I'll sell half of that in cash. Oh, couldn't face getting copped up for the rest of my shabby little office. I'm sorry, Pop. I didn't mean that remark, but this business of nickels and dimes is spending your life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents a length of... I go crazy. I just want to do something both big and something important. I know, Dad, I wish I felt by being hoarding pennies like a miser in order to most of my friends already finish college. I feel like if I don't get away, I buff. I'm glad you see what I'm talking about. I think I'm going down the main street last night in town now.
Who's that?
Well, that's Violet Bick.
That little girl from the candy counter? That's right.
Hello, Georgie Purgy.
Hello, Vi.
What gives?
Nothing.
Where you going?
I'll probably end up at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes. What are you doing tonight?
Not a thing.
Are you game, Vi? What do you say we make a night of it?
Oh, I love it, Georgie. What do we do?
Let's go in the fields and take off our shoes and walk in the grass.
Huh?
Then we could go up to Seward Lake. It's beautiful up in the moonlight, and we could swim. Then we could climb up to Mount Bedford, smell the pines, and watch the sunrise against all peaks. We'll stand there the whole night and everyone will be talking about it, and that'll be your terrific scandal.
George, have you gone crazy? Walking across in the bare feet? Well, it's 10 miles to get to Mount Bedford. Thinking just because you...
Oh, just forget the whole thing. Forget about what, George? Nothing, Sam. You remember Mary, don't you?
Hi, George.
Hi, Mary. Say, wouldn't like walking Mary home, would you, George? Of course. That's not okay with you, Mary.
Fine by moi.
Great, thanks. Hee-haw.
What? That old uncultured swine is Mary Bailey?
Yeah, we saw her last year and she loves me as a Molly Abolish. And now that's really crossing the line. Boo!
So after the dance, George walked Mary home. Is that important, Joseph?
I say it is, because even though Mary lived only 4 blocks away, it took them 2 hours to get home. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight. Come out tonight. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. Hot dog, oh boy, just like an organ. Gee whiz. Beautiful. You know something, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest pig in town.
Well, why don't you say that?
I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18?
18?
Too young or
Oh,
too
no,
old?
just right. Your age fits you. Hey, Look where we are.
Ah, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I got to throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
Well, no. Don't you know when you about deserted houses? You make a wish and then you throw a rock.
But George, it's such a lovely old place. I wished I lived there.
In there? I wouldn't live there if I was a ghost. Now watch. Watch this. How about it? Pretty good shot. Broke a window, huh?
What was your wish, George?
Well, not just one wish. A whole handful. Mary, I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum, then I'm coming back home, go to college and see what I know, and going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. I'm gonna build bridges a mile long, and then I'm gonna... Hey! Are you gonna throw a rock too? Hey Mary, what did you wish for?
Oh no, if I tell you, it might not come true.
Hey Mary, come on. Do you want to just, huh? Do you want the moon?
Okay, the moon. I'll take it, and then what?
And then what? I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Then you can swallow it and it'll dissolve, see? And the moon things just shut out your fingers and toes at the ends of your hair and Am I talking too much?
Yes, why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Who's that?
Old Man Collins, on his front porch.
You've just waited on the wrong people.
Hey, hold on. Mister, come back out here and I'll show you some kissing. Now put your head back in head. You'll come back here and, George! Uncle Billy? George, get in the car quick. Your father's had a stroke. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got to go, Mary. George's father died that night, Clarence, so of course George couldn't go to Europe, but that fall, he was just as ready to leave for college. The directors of the building alone had a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor. I want the board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out these past few months, and it was greatly appreciated. I think that's why we all need you, George. Good luck at your school. I know that you're anxious to make a train. Yes, I have a taxi waiting downstairs.
Aha, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to get my real purpose. I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve the building alone and turn all its assets and liabilities over to the receiver.
It's too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building alone. It was his own faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I go further than that. I'll say to the public Peter Bailey wants the building alone. Ha! Oh, that's fine, Potter, coming from you, considering that you probably drove him to the grave. Ah, waka waka waka! Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called, but his ideas are not common sense can ruin this town. What does that get to us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a fluffy working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir them up and fill their heads with impossible hooey. Now I say...
Just a minute. Now hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny building alone, I'll never know. But neither are you, nobody else can say anything against his character, because his whole life was... Why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this whole thing, he never once thought of himself. Is that right, Uncle Billy?
You got that right, George.
He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Why? Here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? You said what you said just a minute ago. They had to wait and save their money before they even ought to think of a decent home. Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that... Do you know how long it takes to get a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying, living, and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People are human beings, right? But to you, a word frustrated old monster, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book. I am talking about the building
I know very well
alone.
what you're talking about. You're talking about something that you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. Well, I've said too much. You're the board here. You'll do what you want with this thing. Just one more thing, though. This measly, one-horse institution, if only to have some place where people can crumb without crawling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash! I want my motion!
They just coming out of the board meeting. I'll have to call you back. What happened, George? All we heard was a lot of yelling.
Oh boy, Cousin Tilly. You should have heard George. Yeah, they're voting us down here.
George, get out of here. You missed your boat trip. Do you want to miss college too? Don't worry about the board. They're putting us out of business, so what? I can get another job. I'm only 55 and a bear. Waka, waka, waka.
You're 58.
Hey, I don't get that joke. Yeah, the bear is mediocre.
Oh.
George, they voted Potter down. We're still in business.
Oh, whoopee! We're still in business. We're still in business.
But there's one condition, George. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Appoint me? But I'm going to college. Uncle Billy here, he's your man.
You can keep on him. That's all right.
Now let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to school and that is my last chance.
But George, you've got to take it. They'll vote with Potter otherwise.
So George barely didn't go to college.
That's right, Clarence. He gave his college money to Harry. And Harry went instead.
But what happened to that good-looking girl? You know, Mary.
Oh, George saw her now and then. Not very often, though, because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 more years for Harry to come back and take over the building alone. Then he could see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields of Venezuela. Far she blows! Say, Uncle Billy, you know what the three most wonderful sounds on Earth are?
Breakfast is served, lunch is served, dinner is served.
Anchor chains, plane motors, and train whistle. Here's the professor.
Well, if it isn't George, Geographic Explorer Billy. Uncle Billy, you haven't changed
Nobody
a
ever
bit.
changes around here, you know that? Oh, am I glad to see you.
Say, where's Mother?
She's home cooking with the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Oh, wait. This is Ruth Dickin. Well, I wired you. I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Oh, what do you know, wife? Well, how do you do? What am I doing? Congratulations. Harry, why didn't I tell you somebody? What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine? Oh, he gets you a job? Harry's cup runneth over. Come on, Ruth. Let's start ahead and leave the bags for the fellas. Waka waka.
George, about the job, Ruth spoke out of turn. I'd say I take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years, and well, I want you to let you down.
It's all right, Harry. It's all right. And that night, the homecoming for Harry became his wedding party. Uncle Billy familiarized himself with the spirit.
Hiya! I feel so good, I can spit in Potter's eyes. I think I will. What do you say? Maybe I should go home if you just point me in the right direction.
Right down here.
That way, huh? Okay, old building alone, pal. See you later. I'm all right. George?
Yeah, I'm out here
Well,
on the porch,
how do you
Mother.
like the
I
new
just thought I would
sister-in-law?
get some air.
Looks like you keep Harry on
She's
his
well.
toes. George, huh?
Yeah,
You
keep
know
him out
that
of bed for
Mary
falls
got you
anyway.
back from school? Nice girl, Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, stop grumbling. Give me one
Uh-huh.
good reason you shouldn't call her Mary. Well, she's not crazy
Well,
about him.
Sam ran right. Sam's crazy about her. Well, you know, how do you know that?
Sam's
Did she
away in New
discuss
York,
it with you?
And you're here in Bedford Falls. I don't know about war.
I know that's fair of love and war.
Oh, George.
All right, Mulver. I'll think I go out and find the girl and do a little
The
passionate
library.
nephew.
George,
Hi, Miss
George,
Billy.
you
By
gotta
the way,
see
do you want
Mary.
any books at the library?
You-
Hello, George. Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by. Your mother just phoned and said you were on the way to pay me a visit. Your mother just called you. Well, how did you know? I didn't tell anybody. I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by. What? You went for a walk? That's all. Would you like to come in? Well, I guess, since I'm here. Say, where'd you get that dress? Do you like it? It's all right. I thought you'd go back to New York with Sam and Francie with the rest of them. Oh, I worked there a couple of vacations. I don't know. I just thought I was homesick. Homesick for Bedford Falls? Yes, and my family. And everything. Would you like to sit down? Alright, for a minute. I still can't understand it, though. You know I didn't tell anybody I was coming here. No, I don't want to be rude. It was nice about Harry and Ruth, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, that's alright. You don't like her? Of course I like her. She's a peach. Oh, it's just marriage in general. You're not enthusiastic about it, huh? No, marriage is okay for Harry and Sam Wainwright and you.
Hey, Mary! Who's out there with you?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want, George? Me? Not a thing. I was just coming to get warm. He's making violent love to me, Mother!
You'll tell him right to go back home. And don't you leave the house. Sam Wainwright promised a call from New York, didn't he?
Your mother needn't. You know I didn't come here for, too. What did you come here for? I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one with all the answers. You tell me. Why don't you go home? That's where I'm going. I don't know why I came here in the first place.
Mary, it's the telephone. It's Sam.
I'll get it. Yeehaw, Sam. How are you?
Oh, great, G. It's good to hear your voice again.
Oh, well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
You mean that old mossback George?
Yes, that old mossback George.
Hey-haw, put him in.
Wait a minute. I'll call him. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George, you idiot.
He does so. He asks for him. George, Sam wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sam. Hey, fine pal you are. What are you trying to do, steal my pig?
What?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal your pig. Oh, wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension.
I am not.
We can both hear you. George, just put your head a little closer.
Okay.
There, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
I have a big deal coming up that's gonna make us all rich. George, remember that night at Martini's bar when you told me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Yeah, soybeans, yeah.
Well, my father's checked into it. George, see, now he's gonna build a factory outside of Rochester. How would you like that?
Oh, Rochester. Well, why Rochester?
Well, why not? Can't you think of anything better?
No, I don't know. Why not right here in Bedford Falls? You remember that old tool and machinery works? You'll tell your father so he can get that for a song. And all the labor he wants, too. Half the town was thrown out of work when they closed down.
That's so? Well, I'll tell him. Hey, that sounds great. Oh, baby, I knew you would come through. Now here's the point, George. I may have a job for you, but as unless you're still married to that old broken-down building of Rome. Oh, Mary!
I'm here! Was here!
You tell that frog I'm giving him a chance of a lifetime. You hear?
He says it's a chance of a lifetime. Give me that phone. Now you listen to me, Mary. I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and the day after that and the day after that. I don't want plastics. I don't want any job. I don't want to get married ever to anyone. You understand that? What I want to do, and you're not going to. Oh, Mary. George. Oh, Mary, I love you. George, I love you too. Mwah, kissy kissy.
Oh, so in every special, the frog and the pig get married. Yeah, we saw that last year in She Loves Me, and the year before that in Hamilton. Isn't it getting old? Yeah. We want something that's not mediocre.
We will return to the Muppet Theater's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life in just a few moments. For now, It's a Wonderful Life has been brought to you today by the number 3 and the letter W. Thank you. We will continue after these messages. This is Guy Smiley reporting from the Muppet Theater. And now, back to It's a Wonderful Life, starring Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, more like it's a not-so-wonderful life. It's a dull life.
And then George and Mary were married. And following the wedding and reception, George's old pal Ernie, the cab driver, drove the happy couple to the train station. Hey, where are you two going on now this here honeymoon? Oh, we're going to shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda. The highest hotels and the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife. Here's the kitty, Ernie. $2,000. I feel like a bootlegger's wife. So you're finally getting out of Brentford Falls, huh? Then what? Then what, honey? After that, who cares? That does it. Hey, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed you since. Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look over there at the bank. It looks like a run. Huh? Pull over there. A minute, will you, Ernie? George, let's not stop. Let's go straight to the station. Oh, wait a minute. I better see what it is. I'll be right back. Please, George, George. What is this, Uncle Billy? A holiday? Why are the doors locked? There's a crowd out front. There is a pickle, George. All right now, what happened? All I know is the bank called our loan, and I had to hand out all our cash. All of it? Every last cent of it. Holy mackerel! And then I got scared, George. I closed the doors. Our charter says we need to stay open until 6 o'clock, or we'll lose our license. A Bailey brother building a... Get me, George! George, it's Mr. Potter. Hello? George, there's a rumor around town that you closed your doors. Is that true? No, it isn't. Do you need any police? Mobs get pretty ugly sometimes, you know. Ha 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 ha. We're fine. We'll see. Now, George, I'm going all out to help in the crisis. I just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They are close for a leak and reopen. I may lose a fortune, but I am willing to guarantee your people too. Just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I will pay 50 cents on the dollar. Oh, don't you miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, if you close your doors before 6 p.m., you'll never reopen. He just took over the bank, Billy. Open the doors and let them in. Now, just remember that this thing isn't as dark as it appears. I've had some news for you folks. I just talked to old man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments at the bank. How about our money, George? Where's our money? Now, please. Wait a minute. Listen to me. You're thinking of this place all wrong. The money is not here. Now, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. Your money is all in people's houses, and 100 others. Now, what are you gonna do? Foreclose on them? I've got $242 here. $242 isn't gonna break anybody. All right, Count. Now you get your money in 60 days. 60 days! Well, now that's what you agreed when you bought and counted your shares.
I got my money. Old man Potter's taking over the banks. He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar.
No, wait a minute. Please, folks. Please don't leave. I beg of you not to do this. If Potter gets a hold of your shares, he'll be owning this building alone. He's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got the department stores, and now he's after us. Because he wants to keep you living in the shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now, we can get through this alright, but we gotta stick together. We gotta have faith in each other. My husband is out of work. We need money. I got doctor bills to pay. Cannot feed my kids with faith. How much you need? We still got money. We've got $2,000 from the wedding. Hey, Mary, I got $2,000 here. This will tide us over until the bank reopens. All right, Count, how much do you need? $242. Count, just enough to tide you over until the bank reopens. I will take $242. All right, Uncle Billy, give the Count $242. Okay, Ed, now how much do you need just to get by? $20, I suppose. Now we're talking. Mrs. Thompson, how about you? But it's your own money, George. Never mind that. How much do you want, Mrs. Thompson? Could I have $17.50? $7, bless your heart. Of course, you can have it. Uncle Billy, give her $17.50. Pay it back. When you can now. Pay it back when you can. All right. Who's next? Look at the clock. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3, 2,
1!
6 o'clock! We made it!
That is one happy frog!
Good for you, Frog! You managed to survive Potter scamming you!
But will it last?
Go! Boy, we're still in business, and we've even got $2 left.
Belly Brothers building in. Just a minute, George. There's a call for you.
Look, will you get my wife on my phone? She's probably over at her mother's.
Mrs. Bailey is on the phone.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife. Oh, Mrs. Bailey, that is my wife. Mary! Hello, listen, dear. I'm sorry. What? Come home. What home? 302-20 Sycamore. Well, whose home is that? That's the Ward of Hotel. Huh? The Ward of Hotel? Doesn't that sound familiar, Statler? Yeah, I bet if you ran the hotel, you would be stealing every buck that Frog has.
Wait, that doesn't look like the old Wardolf.
Oh no. Number 320 Sycamore was the old Granville house. The one George and Mary threw rocks and made wishes. Mary had prepared the house including a turkey dinner, romantic decorations, and even a marriage bed. Welcome home, Mr. Bailey. Well, I'll be... Remember the night we broke the windows in this old house? That's what I wish for. Darling, you're wonderful. Yes, sir. That's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started their lives together. Mary made the leaky old house a home, while George tried away at the building and loan, an office, providing houses for people like Giuseppe Martini. Mr. Bailey, everybody there, me and Giuseppe Martini, we run this house, before the Butterfield. And the Martini, big resource quality, the keys. Oh, Bailey houses were popping all over the field, mostly owned by people who used to live in Pottersfield. And Potter, he had just enough about that. So a couple of years, old man Potter decided to call our George into his office. Well, I suppose I'll find out sooner or later, but just what exactly did you want to see me about?
George, that's just what I like so much about you. I'm an old monster, and people hate me. But I do not like them either, so that makes it all even. You know just as well as I do that I practically run everything in this town but the Bailey building alone. You know, also for that number of years, I've been trying to get control of it or kill it. But I haven't been able to do that. You've been stopping me. In fact, you've been beating me, George, and that takes some doing. During the Depression, for instance, you and I were the only ones who kept our hands. You saved the building alone, and I saved all the rest.
Well, most people say you stole the rest.
The envious one said that, George. The suckers. Now, let's look at you. Young frog, 27, 28, married, making, I say, 40 a week. 45?
45.
Now, if you were some ordinary frog, I'd say you'd be doing fine. But George Bailey is intelligent and ambitious. He hate the building alone almost as much as I hate you. He's been trying to get out of town ever since he was born. A young frog, the smartest one in the crowd, mind you, has to sit back and watch his friends go places because he is trapped, trapped into fitting his life, playing nursemaid to let the garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George, or do animals exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, you're the only frog in town who's liked me. I want to hire you, manage my affairs. I'll start you at $20,000 a year.
$20,000? $20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest home in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, maybe once a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, George, huh?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else around here, aren't you? Are you sure you're talking to me? I'm George Bailey. You don't remember me. The building and loan, remember?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, providing he has brains enough to climb aboard.
Well, what about the building and loan?
Oh, confounded frog! I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if you'd give me 24 hours to think about it.
Sure, you go home and talk to the pig.
Oh yeah, I like that.
In the meantime, I'll drop the papers and soon you'll be managing my affairs.
Your affairs? No. The answer's no. Doggone it. You'll sit around here and spin your little webs and think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In this whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you are nothing but a scurvy little spider.
What does Mr. Potter want, George?
Nothing, just talk. Oh gee, Mary Hatch, why in the world do you ever want to marry a frog like me anyway?
To keep moi from being an old sow?
Oh, I was going to see the world. I was going to build things. I was going to give you the moon. What have I given you? I've given you nothing. You could have married Sam Wainwright.
Well,
anyone else in
I didn't
town.
want to marry anyone else in town. I want my baby to just look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon. I promise you. You what?
My baby.
You mean, Mary, you're on the nest?
George Bailey Lasso Stark.
Well, Mary had her baby, a boy.
You didn't say that.
And then she had a girl. What do you know? Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't good with the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down hard. Then came the war. Mary had another baby, but then still had time to run the USO. Gower and Uncle Billy sold war bonds. Violet entertained the troops. Bert the Top was wounded in North Africa, got the Silver Star. Ernie, the tax driver, punctuated in France. Harry barely taught them all. A Navy flyer, he shot down 15 planes, 2 of them as they were about to crash into a transport full of soldiers.
Yes, but George, what about George?
George? 4F on count of his ear. George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls. Air raid roared in, paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence. You know, now about everything you have to know about George Bailey, except what happened when he finds him down in a moment wanting to die.
Well, sir, well.
Today's the day just before Christmas, and Billy is at the bank to make a deposit when he ran into Old Man Potter.
Well, Mr. Henry H. Potter, come to the bank to deposit some more loot, huh? Shut, you old fool! Oh. How do you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Just can't keep those Bailey boys down, can ya? Waka waka waka. Let me see newspaper. Here you go. Sorry, can't chat, you old thief. Gotta make a deposit.
Good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, Horace. Here you are. Deposit is stiff. Bank book and Merry Christmas to you.
You too, Mr. Bailey. Say, you forgotten something, haven't you?
What's that?
You want to make a deposit?
Well, certainly.
Well, it is customary to bring the money with you.
It's gone! Where did I put it? Where did I put the money? Oh!
Hey, you're the one who misplaced the money. You should go to jail, Bear.
Boo!
A terrible thing, Clarence. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded up in the newspaper he gave Old Man Potter. At the same time, Billy started looking for the deposit. Violet came to visit George at the building alone. Hello, Vi.
Suppose you're getting the gangs right back at house with the party tonight.
You know you're invited. What's wrong?
You see right through me, don't you, George?
How much you need?
I ain't doing this to you, George, but I won't be asking for any much after this.
You're planning on robbing a bank, Vi.
I'm going to Manhattan.
What's
for
in Manhattan?
Sure. Well, everything's in Manhattan. New start at least for sure.
Oh, that's a big step, Vi. What's the matter of starting a new life here in Bedford Falls?
Well, I'll be. Never thought I'd hear from you, George Bailey. I thought you hated this
I
place.
did, but this town has a charm on its own.
You're thinking tours, maybe.
I'm thinking of you, Violet. Manhattan's a big place to take on your own.
I made a decision. There's a midnight train.
It takes a
tonight,
lot of
and I plan
character to
be
leave
on
your
it.
hometown to start all over again. Here's some dough.
No, George, don't.
What do you want to do? Hawk your furs and that hat? Want to walk to New York? You know, they could change for meals and rent up the same just as they do in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's just my business. The building and loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad I know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Merry Christmas, George.
George!
Uncle, what's going on? The bank examiner's coming today and...
Today?
Yeah. What's the accounts payable? What's the matter with you?
The money! The 8,000!
What? Uncle Billy, what happened to it?
I don't know. I was going to deposit it, and when I went to the bank, I didn't even have it.
$8,000, Uncle Billy! The bank examiner's in town, and it's not our money. It belongs to the depositors.
I'm so sorry, George. I just don't know what happened.
Well, the first place you look is in your coat pocket. I told you to put it there when you left.
Oh, I'm no good to you, George. I'm no good.
Let's go there. We have to retrace our steps. We'll leave no stone unturned. Did you put that envelope in your pocket?
Maybe?
Uncle Billy, we've got to find that money.
I'm no good to you, George.
Do you have any secret hiding place here in the house?
I've gone over to the whole house. Even the rooms have been locked since I lost your Aunt Laura.
Listen to me. Think.
I can't think anymore, George. It hurts.
Where's that money, you stupid, silly old fool? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. One of us is going to jail, and it's not going to be me. Ah! That's one angry frog, I tell you. Yeah, me, Murphy.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy.
Daddy, did you bring the wreath?
What wreath?
The Merry Christmas wreath for our window.
I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
I left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Oh, is it wonderful about Harry? We're famous, George. I bet. I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother's excited.
Must she keep playing that?
I have to practice tonight for the party, Daddy.
Mama says we can stay up night to sing Christmas carols.
Hey, can Daddy sing?
Better hurry up and shave, George. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over.
Excuse Elmo? Excuse Elmo?
Have a hectic day.
Yeah, another big letter day for the Baileys.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
Well, what's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
Excuse Elmo? Excuse Elmo?
Well, excuse Elmo for what?
Elmo burped.
All right, darling, you're excused. Now go upstairs and see what little Zuzu runs.
What's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she got a cold, calling from cold at home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize, but she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat.
What is it? A sore throat?
The doctor says it's nothing serious.
Was the doctor here?
I called him right away.
Is she running a temperature?
A decent one.
Gosh, this old house. I don't know why we don't have properonia. This drafty old barn might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why did we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Wrong? Everything's wrong. You call us a happy family when we have all these kids?
Daddy, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Up to see Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Where do you think you're going?
Want to give my flower a drink?
Here, give Daddy the flower. I'll give it a drink.
Look, Daddy, some of the petals came off.
Yeah,
Paste
all right.
it.
Now I'll paste this together. There it is. Good as new.
Give the flower a drink.
Now will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try to get some sleep?
I'm not sleepy. I want to look at my
I know,
flower.
but you just gotta go to sleep. And then you can dream about it, and it'll be a whole garden.
It will?
Uh-huh.
Telephone!
Okay, I'll get it. Hello? Yes? This is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. The doctor says she'll be bed in time for a Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch. This is George Bailey. Say, what kind of a teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that half naked? George! Is this sort of thing we pay taxes for? To have teachers like you, stupid, sterile, careless grouches who send our kids home without any clothes on? Oh, that's stupid!
Hello? Mrs. Welch? I want to apologize. Hello? She hung up, George!
I'll hang her up.
Now, who do you think you are? Scram!
Wait a minute. Hello? Who is this? Oh, Mr. Welch? Okay, that's fine, Mr. Welch. Give me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George?
Will you get out and let me handle this? Hello? Oh, you will, Mr. Welch, anytime you mean enough. Hello?
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
What do you think I am? I am a dictionary? Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You play it over and over! Now stop it! Stop it! George, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. You go ahead and practice, Pete. I owe you an apology. I'm sorry. What did you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
What's the matter with everybody? Jenny, go on. I told you to practice. Now go on. Play.
Oh, Daddy.
George, why must you torture the children? Why don't... Mary?
Where's Daddy going?
Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete.
Should I pray for him?
Yes. Janie, pray very hard.
Elmo too?
You too, Tommy. Hello, Uncle Billy?
So, that's it, George. You're short $8,000 in the books. Ah!
Oh, Mr. Potter, I'll pay any sort of interest. You still want the building alone?
So, you say it was lost. Did you notify the police?
No, sir, I haven't done that. Harry's coming home tomorrow.
Why did you come to me? What about your good friend Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He is in Europe.
What kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
I have some life insurance, a $15,000 policy.
How much is your equity in it?
$500.
And you want 8,000? Ha 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 ha! Look at you! You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a frog-frustrated old monster. But what are you but a word-frustrated young frog? Ha 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 ha! Crawling here in your hands and knees for help? No security, no stocks, no bonds. You're worth more dead than alive. Ha ha ha! Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much and extend for help?
I'll do anything, Mr. Potter. Please, please help me, my wife and my
You know
kids.
what I'm going to do for you? As a stockholder, the building loan, I am calling the state examiner and get a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation,
Mr. Potter, please,
malfeasance.
they can't arrest me. Yeah, go ahead. Arrest that frog. He's more better off dead than alive. Go and run. You can't hide in a little town like this. Merry Christmas, frog.
We will return to It's a Wonderful Life, presented by the Muppet Theater in just a few minutes after these messages. And now, the dramatic conclusion of It's a Wonderful Life. Waiter! Waiter!
Sir, what can I help you with?
How many times have I told you there's a fly in my soup?
There is a fly in your soup?
Well, please just don't stand there. Please get me my order!
Okay, I will get you your order, sir.
Merry Christmas. Great you dream. Where's going to end the day? God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying frog, but if you're up there, you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, God.
Hey, you're late, George. You want somebody to take you home, okay?
Well, you drink some oatmeal, man. You don't feel it well. Man, go home, Mr. Bailey.
Bailey? You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh? And the next time you talk to my wife about that, you'll get worse. It isn't enough she slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write, and you gotta buy her out. Scram!
Oh, don't get out the here, Mr. Will. You're my best friend. The Girl Scout out. Here's your birthday party. Oh, Mr. Bailey, you're the key. What was that? Mr. Will, the bottle red were rich. You Kermit is please no more. I get something for you, mate. It's the beating. I'm alright. Hey, don't go away, Mr. Bailey. Hey, the door alone. Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Hey, watch where you're going.
Hey, my great-grandfather planted that tree centuries ago.
And you're just gonna ram your car into it? What's wrong with the youth of today? They don't even care.
George is heading to the bridge now. Clarence, can you see him?
It looks like he's gonna jump.
It's time, Clarence.
Help! Help me! I can't swim!
Hold it, mister. I'm coming. I'm coming. Yay! What in Sam Hill are two of you doing? This storm's not fit for a man or a beast. Now get out of the water. Are you two alright? Do you need a doctor? Oh, no, I'm alright.
No, I'm fine. This underwear, I didn't have time to get anything stylish. My wife gave it to me on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
Passed away?
Oh, I see Tom Sawyer's doling out too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry I brought Tom Sawyer with me. You should read the new book Mark Twain is working on.
Oh, how'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
You jumped in to save me?
Well, I didn't I? You were going through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Suicide.
It's against the law to commit suicide around here.
Yeah, it's against the law where I come from, too.
Where do you come from?
Heaven.
What?
I had to act quickly, and that's why I jumped in. I knew if you were drowning, you would try to save me. And so you did. And that's how I saved you.
Oh, that's very funny.
Your lip's bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a busted jaw in answer to the prayer.
No, George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
How do you know me?
I know all about you. I watched you grow up from a little boy. I mean a little tadpole.
What are you, a Jedi mind reader or something? Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh, no.
Well, who are you then?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody? AS2? What's that?
Angel, second class.
Hey, I'm getting out of here. You may not meet a doctor, but I do. You are all a bunch of silly creatures.
Cheerio, my good man.
Hey, look here. Why do you want to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel.
I won't be surprised.
Ridiculous till you think of killing yourself for money. $8,000.
Yeah, just things like that. Now, how'd you know that?
I told you, I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look like the kind of angel I get. Some sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
You don't happen to have 8,000 bucks on you?
No. We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. I keep on forgetting. Comes in pretty handy down here, Bubs.
Oh, tut.
Found out a little late. I'm worth more dead than alive. Yeah, he's worth more dead than alive. See, even the old geezers up in the balcony think so.
Now, look, you mustn't say things like that. I won't get bad wings with my attitude. You just don't know all you've done. If it hadn't been
yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody will be a lot better. My wife, my kids, and my friends.
This ain't gonna be easy.
They'd all be better if I hadn't been born.
What did you just say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
Yeah, that ought to do the trick. Well, you got your wish. You've never been born.
Never been born?
Exactly. No worries, no $8,000 to get, nothing. You simply don't exist.
Hey, wait a minute. This ear of mine. Say something else in that ear.
You don't have a bad ear anymore, don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think
Oh,
you
that's
are.
a god-darnedest thing.
The lip stopped bleeding too, George.
Well, what do you know about that? What happened? If I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? Don't you want a drink?
Well, I don't know.
Come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Our clothes are dry.
Hey, so they are. That's funny. The stove's harder than I thought. Well, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's and then... Oh, excuse me? I'll stroll, you fly.
I haven't got my wings.
You haven't got your wings? Yeah, that's right. A couple drinks and then we'll both fly. Oh, there's a place to sit down. Oh, hello, Nick. Clarence, welcome to the best bar in Bedford Falls.
Hey, that's Rudolph. Don't you mean Pottersville?
Pottersville? Hey, where's Martini?
Hey, look, I ain't the boss. You want a drink or don't you? Okay?
Okay, alright. Double pour them, quick. Huh?
Okay. What is yours, Bob?
I was thinking of more wine.
Huh?
Heavy on the cinnamon, light on the cloves. Off with my lad, and lively.
Hey, look, mister. We sell hard drinks here to men who want to get drunk fast. He don't need any collectors around to get the joint atmosphere, okay?
No, come on. Just give him the same as I ordered. It's okay.
Double bourbon?
What about this place? It's all changed.
All of Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there'll be lots of things you've never seen before. Oh good, somebody's just made it. Every time you hear the bell rings, it means some angels got their wings.
What did you just say?
I don't think you better talk about angels around here.
They don't believe in them?
Yeah, they believe in them, but, it's just...
Well then, why should people be surprised when they see one?
Don't mind him, Nick. He just never grew up. How old are you anyway?
293, next May.
That does it. How'd you two pixies go to the door out the window? Get out.
Where's Martini? You'll tell him.
Oh, stop asking about Martini. He's here. Well, look who comes out of the water hole. Who's been hiding in?
Hey, it's Mr. Gower.
Hey, you, Rummy. Didn't I tell you never to come panhandling around here?
George, look.
Mr. Gower, this is George Bailey. Don't you know me?
Will you buy me a drink, mister? Just one drink, mister.
Me. Piggy, throw the Rummy out.
You got it! A la peanut butter knuckle sandwiches! Get out of here! Oh no, please!
Hey Nick, isn't Mr. Gower the druggist?
That rum has spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Piggy, here's 2 more. Get them out of here.
You got it, boss! A la peanut butter knuckle sandwiches! Here, let me help you. The snow is quite cold.
What's wrong with Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, George? You weren't there to stop Gower to putting that rat poison into that
What do you mean? I wasn't there. What are you, a Jedi Knight? Why am I seeing
Don't
these
you
strange
understand?
things?
It's because you were never born.
If I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name is George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. You have no papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F cars, no insurance policy.
Zuzu's petals? Zuzu's petals. My little girl. Some petals fell off her flower.
But
I told her if I fix...
given a great gift, George. The chance to see what the world would be like if you had been never born.
You're crazy! Yeah, you're screwy! You're screwy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy too! Now look, I'm going home to my wife and family. Do you understand that? I'm going home alone!
Hey, you know the drill. Hands behind your back, sister.
Keep your hands off me. Why don't you bust somebody else for a change?
Hey, officer, where did the building and loan go to?
Building what?
The Bailey building and loan. It was up there.
Oh, they went out of business years ago. Now that's left is a burlesque house. And cookies!
Not so fast, copper. I know, Mr.
Hey, Violet! Listen, that's Violet Beck.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know.
I know that girl.
Who doesn't? Now get out of our way.
Taxi! Hey, Ernie, take me home. I'm going off my night.
Where do you live?
Ah, now, doggone it, Ernie. You don't start pulling that stuff. You know I live at 23 Sycamore. Now hurry up.
Okay, 23 Sycamore?
Yeah, hurry up. Zuzu's sick.
All right.
Look here, Ernie, straighten me out here. I got some bad liquor or something. Listen to me. Now you're Ernie Bishop and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kid. That's right, isn't it?
You see my wife?
Seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Pottersfield, and my wife ran away 3 years ago, and I took the kid. And I ain't never seen you before in my life.
Okay, just step on it. Just get me home.
Is this the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been here living for 20 years.
Mary, I'm home. Pete, Tommy, Janie, Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
Where are they, Clarence? What have you done with them? All right, put up your hands. What is this? No fast moves. Come out of here, both of you. Bert, thank heaven you're here. Stand back. Bert, what's happened to this house? Where's Mary? Where's my kids?
Watch it, Bert.
Come on. Bert, Ernie, what's the matter with you guys? You were here on my wedding night. Both of you stood out on the porch and sung to us. Don't you remember?
Think I'd better be going.
Look, Now, why we don't want you to be a good kid, and we'll take you into the doctor. Everything's gonna be alright.
Bert, now listen to me. Ernie, will you take me over to my mother's house? Bert, listen! It's that fellow here. He says he's an angel. He's trying to hypnotize me.
I hate to do this, fella.
Run, George, run!
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? I had him right there.
I need a drink.
Well, which way did he go? Help me find him, Ernie.
Ma Billy's boarding house.
Well?
Mother?
Mother, what
Mother,
do you
this
want?
is George. I thought sure you remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no
Mother,
vacancy.
Mother, please try to understand. Something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Please let me stay there.
I don't take in strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him?
Well, sure I do.
Where do you see him last?
Today over at his house?
That's a lie. He's been at St. Anselm ever since he lost the business. If you ask me, that's where you belong.
I'm here again, George.
My own mother didn't even know me.
Strange, isn't it? One man's life touches so many others. When he isn't around, he lives a pretty big hole, doesn't it?
I've heard things like this before. You got me on sort of a spell. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I got to. I know I talked to Billy this afternoon. How can he be in an asylum? I gotta snap out of this. Now let me think a moment. Bailey Park.
There is no Bailey Park if you weren't here to
We'll
build
see.
it. This is Bailey Park. People live here. Pretty grim.
This is where Bailey Park is supposed to be. What's this gravestone doing it? And why is the name Bailey on it?
That wouldn't be yours.
My father's name on this. But what's this other name? Why is my brother's Harry name in there?
Your brother broke through the ice and drowned at the
That's
age
a
of
lie.
9.
Harry Bailey went to war. He won the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he saved the lives of every man of that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save it because you weren't there to save Harry. See, George? You really
What do I
had a
do now,
wonderful
Clarence?
life.
What do I do?
It's your life, George.
What happened to Mary, Clarence?
Mary?
My wife, Mary. What happened to her if I was never born?
I'm not supposed to tell you, George.
I don't know how you know these things to do, but please, if you know where she is, just let me see her. That's all I need to make a decision.
Very well, George, but you're not gonna
Where
like
is she,
it.
Clarence?
She's an old maid, George.
Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library! There must be some easier way to earn my wings.
Is the library closed?
It's Christmas Eve. We can't stay open all night.
Can I ask you something? I surely should be getting home. What is there to get home to?
That's none of your business, Frog. The library's closed. Maybe you should try back on the
Mary, I'm
26th.
sorry.
How do you know my name?
All I need is a couple minutes.
I told you the library's
Please,
closed.
just 2 minutes. That's all I need. I'll do anything.
You sound desperate. I'll help if I can. What
Isn't
is
this
it?
town Bedford Falls?
It used to be. That was some time ago and wasn't until Mr. Potter was elected and took over.
So,
Along
you
with
do
him.
know a place called Bedford Falls.
I've seen pictures. It looked like a very nice place. Things have changed. But once of a time,
Mary
I have
Hatch,
to go.
you live on Reed Street with a white Victorian. Your bedroom is at the top of the stairs. And turn to the left. You have an older brother named Marty, and you live with your mother, Edwina.
How do you know all that? What are you, some crazy frog? Stop it! I'm leaving!
Don't you know me, Mary? Just let me talk you.
Get your hands off me! I'll call a cop!
The house that you wish for, don't you remember?
I told you I don't know me! Let me go!
Don't you know me? You must! Mary, it's George! Don't you know me?
Hi-ya!
Mary, please! Oh, don't do this to me! Please, Mary, help! Where are our kids?
What?
I need you, Mary! Help me! Mary!
Get away from me! Help! Help! Police!
Mary, it's George! Please, Mary, you're my wife! Clarence! Clarence! Where are you? Help me, Clarence! Get me back! I don't care what happens to me! Only get me back to my wife and kids! Help me, Clarence! Please, please! I want to live again! I want to live! Please, oh God, let me live again!
George? Is that you, George?
Now get out of here, Bert! Get out of here! You come any closer, I'll hit you again!
What in the Sam Hill are you yelling about, George?
Come on! George? George! Bert!
No,
do you know me?
I've been looking all over town for you. Where have you been?
Hey, Bert! Bert! I'm alive again, Bert!
You sure all right? Hey, your mouth's bleeding.
Is it? Hey, my mouth's bleeding! Bert, look at the blood come out here! Would you? Zuzu's petals! Zuzu's... There they
Oh,
are!
Merry Christmas. Get in the car and I'll drive you home.
What do you know about that? Merry Christmas, Bert! And so George Bailey was now once again happy that he is living again. Yay! Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas, you wonderful building alone!
Merry Christmas, Mr. Hooper Store! Merry Christmas, you big blue house! Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter! Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, Frog! I hope you rot in jail! Mary! Mary, I'm home! Have you seen my wife? Hey, what is this? These people? These reporters? Hey, Merry Christmas! Mr. Bailey, there's been a deficit. I know, $8,000 I bet, huh?
George, I've got a little paper for you here.
I'll bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? Merry Christmas! I'm going to jail! Hey, where's Mary, you know? Look at this wonderful old drafty house. Isn't it wonderful? Where's Mary?
Merry Christmas, Daddy!
Kids! Pete! Janie! Tommy! I could eat you up! Where's your mother?
She went looking for you with Uncle Billy. Daddy?
Zuzu! Zuzu! My little ginger snap! How do you feel?
Fine, Daddy. I'm not snitching with temperature.
Not a smidge? Hallelujah! George, darling!
It's Mommy! Mommy's home!
Mary! George, where have you been? Oh, George! George! Mary, let me touch you! Oh, you're real! Oh, George! Oh, Georgie! You have no idea what's happened to me. You have no idea what's happened either. Come on, George, quick! They're on their way! Who's on their way? The police department? The FBI? The National Guard? I'm alive again, Mary! Listen! I'm alive again, Mary! Come on, in here now! Now, don't just stand over here! By the tree! Right here! And don't move! Don't move! I hear them now! George! It's a miracle! Come in, Uncle Billy! Come in, everyone here!
Isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told the full folks that you were in trouble, and they scattered all over the town collecting money. They didn't even ask any questions. Just said, if George is in trouble, you can count on me. Ah, waka waka. You never saw anything like that.
What is this, George? Another run from the bank? Here you are! Merry Christmas! The line forms to the right. Mr. Gower, Merry Christmas. Mr. Martini, step up right now. Crazy Martini, the dirt box right now. Report.
Mr. Gower!
I made the rounds in my charge account.
Violet Vic!
I'm not going to go, George. I changed my mind for sure. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you. Here you go. $242.
I've been saving this money for a divorce, even if I ever get a wife.
Hi, Telly Monster here. I thought I could give you extra money from my triangle trade. Baby Bear, do you have any?
Alright, here's some free porridge for you. Merry Christmas, George. Natasha knew you were down, so here it is, $242. No, it's supposed to be $5,000. Merry Christmas, George.
Now here's a boomerang fish to make up for your money.
Here's some cookies for free.
Look, I got some money. I love peanut butter sandwiches.
I don't think you know who I am, but I'm you from another dimension. I'm Patrick Mahomes. I'm just gonna give you money to right to the bank. Oi, be
Quiet, everyone. Just a minute. A telegram from London.
Oh, London?
Mr. Gower cables should need cash. Stop! My office instructed to advance you $25,000. Stop! Hee-haw and have a Merry Christmas. Sam Wainwright.
Mary, looks like I got here too late. Mary, I got him all the way up from the airport quickly as I could. The flu fruit all the way here in a blizzard.
Harry, whoa, how was your banquet in Washington?
Oh, I left right in the middle as soon as I got Mary's hologram. How about some wine? Good idea. To a toast to my big brother, George,
The richest frog in town! What's this book, George?
Tom Sawyer.
Look, there's an inscription.
George, remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
What's that?
It's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Incredible, Clarence. Thank you again for watching the Muppet Theater's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life. Merry Christmas to all, and have a good cookie. Yeah, this special's all been a mania's life. What do you think, Rowlf? Well, Battler, why did we even come here in the first place? To wish we were never born?
Go home! Bye-bye! Hasta luego!